some personal events in my life pretty much sidetracked everything I thought I was going to be doing, after the military and retiring and living a calm, easy life, And in 2019, my younger sister, Sarah, was trafficked. And she got bad on drugs, man. Just one drug led to another. And the worse the drugs get, the worse the people get. And November 5th, 2019, she was kidnapped. And we didn't hear anything from her. And then Christmas Eve, 2019, her body was found in a river in North Mississippi. So she was kidnapped from Memphis and then found in North Mississippi. So, needless to say, man, like that was just, hell for the family to go through. We still have no clue the details of what she went through. Nobody talks in situations like that. Nobody will testify. No one will talk to police. And given the dynamic, it really wasn't, in my opinion, thoroughly investigated or adequately investigated. And a lot of things were missed or not done by law enforcement, during that. So, having my background, fighting wars in, Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, I worked at the CIA for a while. Just most of my life was targeting and counterterrorism, building mechanisms to take out terrorists, whether that be ISIS or Al-Qaeda. That was just what I did for my whole career. And that was always a joint effort between multiple branches in the military, multiple government agencies, and we all had to find ways to work together, to accomplish the mission, accomplish the objective. And what what I saw in the U.S. was that it's just splintered, it's fractured, it's dysfunctional, our whole system, man. And I wanted to fix it. I wanted to do something about it, right? Like honor my sister and do something about it. So I initially started a charity called Operation Lightshine, and that's still around today, still growing. And that was the first step in my mind of solving the problem. Creating a task force model to fight human trafficking didn't exist, right? There's all kinds of task forces in the U.S. to fight drugs, to fight, organized crime and gangs. There's task forces to go after weapons. There's task forces to do everything. But the number 2 crime in the world right now, human trafficking, we do nothing about it. Not to mention child exploitation, right? So I wanted to solve that. That's what I do. I don't want to bitch about problems. I want to solve them. Yeah, sorry, I'm trying not to cuss too much. But, so I partnered up with the gentleman from Homeland Security, and we started to develop this model. Now, I wanted it to be more on the strategic special operations style, like what I know, intelligence-driven operations. But, you can't change everything overnight, right? So it's a government, the bureaucracy. It's the bane of my existence, man. But we were able to launch a federal, state, and local task force concept. We launched it here in Nashville, Tennessee. Not going to go on a rant about why it got shut down, but, the city council is, that's not a priority of theirs, I guess you could say. But the model was so popular, people from all over the world started flying in to see what we had done, right? So talking all the way from like Australia. So other states picked it up. There's 2 active task forces in Florida. There's one in Virginia. Governor Youngkin donated his paycheck to start it there. So it's moving, and I think they've moved into Maryland and a couple other places. But, once you create something that just blows up overnight, becomes so big, and it kind of got out of my hands. And it went a direction I didn't want it to go. Now, I'm not saying they're not doing good things. They are. But I wanted it to be a different type of solution and not be ingested into the system that, in my mind, is part of the problem, right? So, was it summer 2023? I resigned as CEO from that, and I partnered up with Tim Tebow to launch that Tim Tebow Foundation, and kind of turned the keys to the kingdom, if you will, back over to them and the board of directors that stayed on. Then brought the people I wanted to bring with me over to Sentinel Foundation, and so basically I resigned from Operation Lightshine. 5 minutes later, they named me the president of Sentinel Foundation, and the goal here is just do exactly what we did with Lightshine, but do it differently, or do it the way I really wanted to do it. And so we've changed the model. We're working with State Attorney Bain, DeSantis, and key players down in Florida right now to do a state-focused task force. Where basically the state has the ability to do all the things that the feds do. So we're working through the kinks. It's not easy. It's a process. The other thing I messed up on when I started Lightshine was donor funded, right? People were donating to get this model going. And, that's great if people were donating, right? But when you're talking task force, when you're talking government, a federal partnership, state and then local partnership task force, that bill gets up quick, millions and millions of dollars, right, to do it adequately or to do what you're supposed to do. And that's very difficult to do on a donor model, especially with the new foundation, even with the Tim Tebow Foundation partnership, right? So now I'm changing the model to make the state pay for it, to do what they should be doing anyways, right? Make the state fund at least the base creation of this task force and then put it on steroids with donor funds. So we're working on that in Florida, working with Lieutenant Governor Robinson in North Carolina, and we already got a budget in the state house there. And started the conversations in Texas, and a bunch of other governors and AGs have been reaching out, but can't really do it all at once. So the other problem is, when you're a foundation, it's not like you just have a staff of, a lot of people to do it. So we don't want to bite off more than we can chew and fail. That's the other problem here. So we're moving it, man, and trying to get that done. But, the other half is Sentinel, and the biggest half now is our international operations, man. So, the Sentinel Foundation was founded to be a special operations solution to humanitarian crisis and human trafficking. So you've got some of the best guys this country's ever seen, that come from the unit, special operations, intelligence agencies, and then also federal law enforcement that have come together, and guys and gals, that have come together to solve this problem. So we conduct operations in Asia, Africa, and South America, mostly internationally, to fight human trafficking, but also humanitarian crisis. So, as you know, past 4 years, I guess, you've had the pull out of Afghanistan that turned into just an absolute nightmare. The Ukraine war when it first kicked off. So a combined effort between myself when I was at Lightshine and the Sentinel guys, we've been able to rescue thousands of people from those countries that either worked with U.S. military, were interpreters, orphans, babies. I mean, you name it. We've had operations at every level to just help people and give that just that reaction that requires the training, the knowledge, and the skill set we have, right? So, and then most recently, we were able to run an operation, put to pull 59 severely disabled orphans out of Haiti, and during that whole collapse. So that's just what we do, man. We just react to crisis and try to save kids, and one at a time, man, because this problem it's just gotten out of control.